What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel today. We're going to be finally dipping into my rookie rankings this week, and we're just going to be going over all my positions of my pre-draft rookie rankings, trying to get them done by the NFL draft. So if you haven't been to the channel before, I'm Sam. Please hit subscribe below. Let me know if you've subscribed. Leave a comment. I love talking to y'all, and I just love engaging with everyone. Like the video. But for today, let's get into it. We're going to do my top 10 rookie running backs. I'm super excited to finally get into these. So number 10, we're going to go from 10 to 1. First, Rasheen Ali here out of Marshall, 23. I have his stats from last season up here on the screen. I think Ali's a very explosive player, but he did go to a smaller school. He's a little older, so that's why I kind of have him down here at 10. But I do think he has some potential if he gets in the right landing spot. That's basically going to be the theme today, right? And it really is the theme when it comes to running backs. It's landing spot and draft capital. If they're going day 3 to a bad spot, it really takes so many things to come together for them to be successful. But starting out here, Rasheen Ali, 10. Number 9, Will Shipley coming out of Clemson. I think he's a good player, a good pass catcher. I don't know if he's excellent at any things. He is 21, so he obviously has some time to get better. But I do like that he played in the ACC. I think that's a little better than some of these smaller schools, but it definitely doesn't mean he's going to succeed, which is why I have him all the way down here at number 9. Now we kind of get into this big tier, and I'm going to have Estime here down at 8. Audric Estime out of Notre Dame. He is 20 years old, which I absolutely love. In watching his tape, he's actually very explosive and broke a lot of big plays for someone who kind of seems a little bigger, more bruising type than some of these more smaller, shifty guys, but really carried the load for Notre Dame this last season, 18 rushing touchdowns. I do have him down here at RB8, but with the right landing spot, I actually really like him potentially moving up my board. It really just depends on where he's going to land here in the NFL draft and what kind of capital is he going to get. Basically, when it comes to running backs, we want them to get day 2 capital. I think we all know day 1's probably not happening this year, but if any of these guys can get that day 2 capital, it's going to make me more interested in them and probably going to really slingshot guys up and down the ranks, depending who goes where. Number 7 here, Braelon Allen. I do like Braelon Allen. He's more of a bruiser. He is 20, though, and that's kind of the thing where it's like if he gets the capital, I think I'd be willing to take the risk on him. As of now, I like 6 more guys more than him just based on their film and potential. But with that being said, he can get better. 20 years old. Let's see the landing spot and what happens in the NFL draft. But very good running back and very consistent for Wisconsin over these last couple of years. So I do like Braelon Allen as a player, and I'm not totally dismissing him here with this rank. Like I said, I think kind of 8 through 4-ish in my ranks here are kind of this big tier. So these guys could definitely shift depending on what happens in the NFL draft this coming week. So number 6 here, Blake Corum. This might be a little low. Corum is a really tough prospect. He really could move up if he gets the landing spot that we want. I think he's a very solid back, and I think he's going to be a better NFL player than any of his analytics kind of show. Keep in mind, he was coming back from the injury. I mean, I know he played the whole season, but he had a pretty bad injury the year before. So I'm going to give him a little potential to maybe improve or get back to a little more explosive. But this guy is a better running back, and he's faster with the ball than without it. Look at those rushing touchdowns last year. So he can get it done in the goal line, even though he's kind of got that smaller body. But Blake Corum, I really like the player, and I'm curious to see where he lands. I could definitely see myself bumping him up a couple spots if he gets a landing spot. I'm intrigued in here at RB6. Moving on to RB5, Ray Davis. This might be a little high, man, but when you watch this guy's tape, he just looks like an NFL running back. He's shifty. He hits the hole. I think he has some of the best vision in this class, and he looked really good for Kentucky this last year. Obviously, he transferred there. He was playing at some other places before, but maybe it's a little high. He is 24 years old, but I just think when I watch this guy's tape, I can envision him stepping in and being the running back 1 for a team. Now, he's not Saquon Barkley. He's not that explosive, but he's very good at everything. Think kind of like David Montgomery-esque. And I know we all kind of made fun of David Montgomery for that comp gif and meme that goes around all the time, but Montgomery is still relevant in the league, and he's had a bunch of relevant seasons. So I think that's an interesting comp for Ray Davis. I think he's very good at kind of everything. So I'm very curious to see where Davis lands coming up here in the draft. Let's get into the top 4. Marshawn Lloyd out of USC. Not the most rushing yards this last year. Very good in the passing game as well. I have him up here as RB4. I just think this dude looks pretty explosive. And every time you kind of watched USC, he was making plays. Put this guy in the right scheme, and I think he has a chance to be involved in the passing game and get you some points on the ground as well. So I'm really excited to see where Marshawn Lloyd goes. I really hope he gets that day 2 capital. Probably not a round 2 pick, but round 3 I think is definitely doable if a team likes what they see out of Lloyd, kind of like I do. Up here at number 3, this might be a little high, but I think Jaylen Wright is really good. I think he's one of the shiftiest looking backs in this league, besides these guys kind of coming in above him. Just 21 years old, was pretty productive at Tennessee. He didn't have the touchdowns, but a weird season for Tennessee. So I think it's kind of tough here. And then, when it kind of comes to these stats in college, they're kind of all over the place and they really aren't apples to apples. So it's very tough to tell. But I really like Jaylen Wright. I'm hoping he goes day 2, as I've been talking about with all these other players. I think he deservedly is up there. I think Lloyd, Wright, and these top guys are kind of away from that other tier where, unless they get day 3 capital and totally move down the board, I really like these guys' potential to just be a valuable piece in an NFL offense. So coming here at number 2, I think these two are the ones everyone kind of knew was coming. Jonathon Brooks, man, just 20 years old, had an incredible season. I think if he didn't tear his ACL, I'd probably have him up at RB1. Coming out of Texas, though, I think it's understandable he wasn't super productive these last couple of years, playing behind Bijan and Roshan, two guys that both got drafted and looked very good in the NFL. Roshan, not as much, but, still a very good player in college especially. So Jonathon Brooks, let's see where he goes. Is he going to have to sit a bit? Does he maybe not play till the second half of the first season? I am banking these into this number 2 rank. But this dude could slingshot up to my number 1 back if he gets the landing spots we're all thinking about. Dallas Cowboys, if they take one of these rookies, we're all going to be interested. So I'm really curious to see where Jonathon Brooks goes. I think he's a very good player, kind of similar to Ray Davis, but a better version and a younger version. This dude is very good at absolutely everything, and he is just a pro NFL running back. So I love Jonathon Brooks. I definitely think he's going to get the draft capital day 2. So I'm positive that I'm going to want to draft him in my rookie drafts. Late 1, early 2, I think he's where he's going to end up. And number 1, Trey Benson. This one's becoming a popular pick, but I just think this guy's the most explosive running back in this draft class. 20 years old, pretty good season last year. And when it comes down to it, I just think this guy is the one who has the potential to be the biggest difference maker at the position. So I'm all in on Trey Benson as my number 1 back now. But if someone gets the better landing spot, if Brooks maybe goes to Dallas, which I think a lot of people want to happen, I may flip-flop these guys. But as of now, Trey Benson, I think he looks rocked and ready to go as the number 1 back in this class pre-draft. So let's see what happens in the NFL draft this week. But thank you guys for tuning in. Finally, I get to come into my rookie RB ranks. So show me some love, please. Had a lot of fun making this video, making the graphics. Let me know if you like them. Kind of experimenting with how to show this information the best. So if you liked kind of how I showed it in this video, I'd love to get some feedback in the comments below. And I love making stuff for you guys. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hit subscribe if you have 1 second. And I will see you guys later this week for some other positions of my rookie rankings.